Y'all, what a finale. We have finally come to the end of season two. I say finally like it's been a while. Came rather quickly. Um, the ending wasn't what I thought it would be. We get left on a cliffhanger, a big cliffhanger. We don't know what's going to happen to 4, 5, 6. We don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the game. Will they continue or will they stop? We also don't know what's going to happen with the pregnant girl as well. There's a lot of things we don't know what's going to happen. We lost some main characters. I'm glad we did not lose 120. I'm at a torn. I'm torn with this finale. It was quality. I was excited to see the guns blazing, but at the same time, I felt like we definitely could have went a little bit further and had a proper ending for season two. What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to the DeAndre Way, where today we are going through Squid Game Season 2, Episode 7, the finale episode of the season. I had to take my time with this a little bit. Some people binge watch the whole season in 1 or 2 days, but I think when you do that, you kind of forget some of the intricate details that went behind the show. And with these episodes, there was a lot of little subtleties that went on that I think most recaps aren't touching on because they're doing the whole everything at once settings, which when we come here, we breaking it down a little more to get down to the real dichotomy of the situation. So I appreciate y'all for coming through, checking out the Squid Game. That's where we started from. That's the origin story here. Um, and I'm excited for the season. I'm excited that the next season has been told to be released in 2025. Probably going to be November, I'd say. Squid Game always comes out when it's cold outside. That's kind of the mood of the whole Squid Game itself. So I'd imagine it'd be November. But it'll be interesting because they will film Squid Game The Challenge Season 2 before that. And I wonder if they're going to put the games. This is my prediction. They're going to release Squid Game before Squid Game The Challenge. And they're going to know the games that will be finishing out in the Squid Game third edition. And when Squid Game The Challenge comes, we'll get the rest of the games that was in Squid Game Season 2. And I think that might be a wrap for Squid Game The Challenge. Maybe they might do one more, but I can't see them doing more than three series of, or three things of that Squid Game The Challenge. And yeah, so then then we got to have something else to come out, whatever that might be. But this episode 7 was crazy. It's very sad. We lost some people, lost a lot of people, and uh, I'm even sad to see 230 die. I ain't gonna cap. He was going crazy about to kill our dog 333 crypto guy, but I was sad that the way he died. It was very 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 gory. This episode had like I don't wonder how much blood they had to use for this episode because it was a lot. But episode 7 is titled "Friend or Foe," and we begin with 230 getting stabbed with the fork up right here below his mouth, underneath his chin, and 333 just gets blood like all over his face. Like it's pretty gory. Like then that's putting it light. He gets doused in blood, and all hell's breaking loose in the bathroom. People getting stabbed left and right with forks. I know forks are powerful. I've obviously never tried to stab anybody with a fork, but dang, those things, they got some power to them. And so, I mean, it's the only weapon of choice they have. Um, but once 333 stabs him, he gets into a porta potty and kind of just hides in there and waits for everything to clear up. And yeah, it gets crazy in there, and we see the goon, 230's goon. He kills someone as well. So he's going crazy with the stabbing. Like he's taking those pills, and those pills are giving him ungodly powers of the fork stabbing. And so, it, it- though that scene, I'd say, it's interesting because we kind of get a different correlation with the first series of the whole riots and whatnot. Um, but we'll get to the rest of it. But we get two riots essentially. Um, so they get back to the dorms and we find out that five players got eliminated, and they're trying to figure out who started it. Everyone's like, they started it, this happened. They ain't got instant replay. And now they're trying to figure out how many, which team has the advantage now, because it was tied even, but now one team has the advantage, and we find out that it is the X crew that has the advantage. No circle. And we soon pan to the boat crew again, who's, so we get on this boat and it's raining. They're hung over. It seems like they've been drinking a lot of beer. And one of the guys goes up top to check things out. And he finds out that this other dude is messing with his drone. And he's like, "Hey, what you doing with my drone, coach? I paid a lot of money for that thing." He's like, "Oh, I'm just looking at it and whatnot." And then he gets suspicious, and as soon as he starts questioning him, he grabs him, and then he gets stabbed. There's a lot of stabbing going on in Korea. um, and then he kills him and then throws him overboard. And then somebody else comes up and like, "Hey, like, is everything okay? I heard a thud." And he's like, "Nah, it was just some boxes over there. They must have fell." And he's like, "Okay." So people getting killed outside the game and inside the game. And I'm interested to know that guy's motive as well and how he was able to infiltrate the boat crew. But yes, soon we find out, yes, 47 to 48 with the X side in favor, and everyone soon heads to bed. And so now the guards prepare for this new special game. We never get to find what the special game is. Um, Maybe they planned on this riot happening, which I doubt, but they're planning for this special game. And soon, the guards also talk about how the girl guard is cooperating now and not going against their orders. I definitely think she's going to have something heavily to do with the beginning of the third series, because we didn't hear anything else from her out the rest of the episode, like at all. I don't think we saw her once. Um, but soon, the X, and then also with the guards, they're all young guys. Hence, they tried to uh, her. And so even when we get demask one of the guards from this season and last season, they're young. They're very, very, very young. Just to put things in perspective, it's interesting how they're so like well behaved as well when they're all low 20s. It seems like. Um, but soon the X team, they're having talks about, okay, what are we gonna do? Should we fight back because they're gonna try and come after us? Um, 456, he's trying to figure out the best strategy, and he's like, "Nah, like we shouldn't fight them, even though they're gonna come after us." And they're like, "What are you talking about? They're gonna get better numbers than us, and when it's time to vote, we won't have the advantage anymore." And I get that, and I was like, Interesting strategy. I'm interested to see why he didn't get everybody, but I guess not everybody would buy it if he's trying to get both sides. And on his side, I think if they knew the plan, then it probably wouldn't work the best based off, he had to get the guns from the guards and whatnot. So he actually had to make the sacrifice of the people that he didn't want to do. And he's turned into the guards a little bit at this point because he's willing to kill people to get, I guess, the better game or to do the right thing overall. Excuse me. So even number one, player one, the front man was like, "So you willing to make these sacrifices in order to save for the good of the people?" And yes, that part was a little conflicting, and you could tell like 456 Jihan did not want to do that, but he knew there was no other option. The time is now to fight back while they still have a decent amount of people in the game, because if they get down to like 20 people, there's no way they stand a chance. Um, but I think a good strategy would have been to tell that secretly to O's as well, but I don't think the O's would have been down for it just based off the the circumstance that just happened in the bathroom. Um, But yes, he said his plan is to take their guns somehow, and he says right before the fight, or right when the fight's going on, right after, they're gonna have an opening to get the guns from the guards and kill the ones that's in there, and then take care of business as it is. I think he just underestimated how many guards there actually was, but yeah. And soon, once the fight, they go to bed and the fight commences. The O's get up and they start attacking, and they have their chance. And the goon, I forget his number, I think it's 380. He starts taking multiple pills, and he said he hated Thanos apparently because he treated him bad and he was bully and all these things, which is very interesting. He seemed like he was happy with him for a while, but yeah, he definitely wasn't the best boss to work for, I'd say. And yes, the lights are out and the O's start to attack. And the brawl ensues, people getting stabbed like crazy, Freddy versus Jason up in here settings. And then we find out, well, it seems like it's a dream, but it's really not. It's just portrayed as a dream. And so the front man, player one, asked, should they make, he talked about the small sacrifice for greater good, and the dream slash real thing commences. Because I was confused for a second, but yes, the brawl's going down, the O's are attacking. um, it's Call of Duty without the guns at this point, and they're getting their kill points up, and it's going crazy in here. I'm actually curious to know how many people actually died from the stabbings with some forks. Um, and it's so sad because 125, the shy guy, he had this bottle. He picked up this bottle and he sees his girl, 380. She's getting cornered by the goon, the lead goon, who took the pills, Thanos' goon. And he tried to throw a bottle on his head, but he missed, and he just hid after that, and he just pretty much watched him kill her. Terrible. And it was our friend with the lip piercings, the girl. So, I'm sad to see her go. She was a valued asset, so R.I.P. to her. We're gonna pour one out for her. And soon the guards come in after a few minutes of the things going on, and they're telling everybody to chill out. They pull the guns out and they start scanning everyone to count who died. And all of a sudden, 4, 5, 6 playing. He's like, all right, let's go. And he starts flipping these guns around on them, gets them, pop, starts going after the guards. They're going crazy, y'all. It's getting lit up in here. Now I feel like we playing Call of Duty because they got the semi-automatics, they got the pistols. I'm just waiting for a pistol whip at this point. But it's off the chain right now. It's definitely, this game is the games are over at this point. There's no really turning back, especially when they're killing guards. And it's interesting because the front man, he's killing the guards too. So I'm like, I wonder how long he's gonna keep this charade up. Maybe he turned over a new leaf. I didn't think so because the way he was acting, but it's very interesting to see him kill his own guards because he could have used that moment in time to really just stop what the hell was going on. So I'm interested to hear his decision making on why he decided to go so far with it, and if the other substitute frontman was in on it as well, because they don't care about the guards. Like if the guards show their faces, they have to get killed. So they don't hold them to that much weight. Which is like if you're a guard and you see this going on that we're expendable, then why are we working for these people? I'm not sure they're paying. Are they paying all that much money? Who knows? I'd rather be in the game than be a guard. But yes, soon. They get all the guns from the guards, and the guards retreat back. And now 47 wants to shoot the O's because they got the guns down. But 4, 5, 6 stocks him. He's like, nah, that's not the goal to kill them. We need to go against the guards, let them live. And yeah, 47's not happy about it, but he's right. You can't. It's not the point to kill the O's. It's not X's versus O's anymore. It's the prisoners versus the guards. And so they shoot out the cameras as well, which is really smart. 120, it was in the military, so they know what they doing. And the soldiers soon group up, and they get the orders to all get their weapons and head down to the dorms to stop the craziness that has ensued. And so fellow Squid Game players start stepping up to help. You know, he's like, 406 is like, who shot a gun here before? Who knows what they're doing? It's time to rebel. He gives a little speech, and it's funny. The son starts to step up too, but the mom's like, "No, stop it. You don't know how to shoot a gun. You couldn't even save me in the game. What makes you think you're gonna save all of us when you don't know what you're doing?" Which is a funny. Which probably was the only funny part in the whole episode because this was the most serious episode of the whole series or of the whole season two. And 120 is now showing everyone like how to shoot the gun, how to reload it, how to insert the magazine clips. Um, and it's a very interesting dichotomy because at the beginning nobody wanted to be partners or pair up with 120, but now everyone kind of has to listen because you know they have the most military and gun experience and combat experience. I mean, it's MP5s that they're using, and uh, 120 was a first class sergeant and in the special forces, so they know what they're doing. Um, and soon they get one of the masked pink guards as a hostage, and Jihan makes him take off his mask and show his face. And like I said earlier, it's a young guy, probably 22, 23 years old, and everyone's shocked because it's like, wow, like these kids are killing us. It's not some like 40-year-old evil man that's been through life and just has nothing else to live for. These kids have a lot to live for. So that was interesting for them to have see their reaction from that. And so it's funny when they they get out the dorms and they go through the pink maze, and the voice keeps playing and says like, "Get back to your dorm. It's bedtime. You need to return immediately. Get back to the dorm. It's bedtime. You need to return immediately, or you'll be eliminated. You'll be eliminated. You'll be eliminated." And then they're like, "All right, we gotta shut this trick up." And they shoot the the speaker box. And now, once that happens, the guards come out, and now we on Call of Duty expert mode. This looks like a map, you know, because in the way they're in if you never played Call of Duty Black Ops, the way that they're shooting, where you can hide and then go out and then hide and then go out, that's exactly how it is in the game. I mean, they weren't running out of clips in this one, but it was dope. I love this scene. It looked like this was a part of this could be a game in Squid Game season. The challenge season two is maybe a standoff in the stairs. That's what I call it. But it was a dope scene. It was the dopest visuals because I mean, this turns in from a horror to like a thriller real quick to Mad Max settings. Hold on, y'all. I dropped something. All right, I'm back. I dropped this little chapstick top. Um, so yes, the guards, they're shooting back. It's real firefight right now. But 120 is taking them out one by one. I mean, clipped after clip after clip. I need the Game Shark replay of the clips to post those on Twitch. I need that. Um, and they're like, okay, we got to get to the headquarters. We got to get to the headquarters. And they're getting through the maze one at a time, but they realize they're running low on bullets, so they're having to take their time with it. And the guy they have hostage, he's telling them where to go. And it's like, okay, this is the way to get to the headquarters. And he makes eye contact with uh, the front man, and he's just like, he sees that's his boss, and it's just an interesting segment there because us viewers know what's going on, but I wonder what's going on through the guard's head at this point. But right as he says where it's at, he gets popped himself in the head, and he's dead. And so the whole bunch of more pink guards come out, and they're having a big firefight. This firefight lasts a long, long time, and the shootout commences. It's an epic scene. This whole time, which I missed, the assistant military dude, 390's lackey, the guy who said he was in the army, who had the tattoo, is shaking. He's probably never been in combat before. He is realizing he ain't built for this. He ain't cut out for this. and he's losing himself in the music, terribly. He's not built for this moment. He needs to sit down, but he has to. I thought he's gonna piss on himself after a while, but he's just shaking like crazy, and he's slowly losing himself. And 456 and 390 soon head into the management area towards this purple tunnel place. And it's smart because he uses the mask to like use as a ploy for the guards to shoot, and then he throws it out, and then he ends up shooting the guards and getting through. It definitely feels like Call of Duty setting. This feels like a mission. Get to the top of the headquarters and press the button before your allies run out of ammo. That's literally what it feels like. And there's a lot of guards left, a ton. And you know, soon number one, he's like, "We need backup. We need backup. We're running out of ammo. Can you use some ammo?" So he tells the lackey, the army lackey. Sorry if I'm forgetting the names out, but you know what I'm talking about. Long-haired army lackey, tattoo, to go back and get the clips out of the guards' pockets in the dorms, and you need to hurry up because everyone else is running out of ammo. So he heads back reluctantly, but he volunteered to do it. So I don't know what's going on with dude. I really don't. Um, but soon, uh, the front man and he brings two other players to go with him to help out Jihan and 390. And Don Ho, 388. That's who the lackey military dude is. Um, he goes back to get the magazines, but he starts panicking. Like he gets in there and he's just it's kind of PTSD from war, that actual army veterans used to have, from World War II, and they just can't get it together. And that's kind of what he was like, where he's seen all this blood, gore, and death just happen right before his eyes, which he was not expecting. I mean, he had seen it from the game already, so I think he would have had that. I feel like he would have had that in the system already, but maybe it's just the gun aspect and like killing people is just not in his DNA. And he's just taking forever, taking forever, taking forever. Like he needs to get these clips now, and he rounds them up, but he just freezes. And 120 is like, okay, I got to go back and help out and see what's going on. And 120 gets there, and he's just hiding in a corner, just shaking and shivering. And I know 120's head was pissed. They're like, "You are useless." People trying to talk about me. Oh gosh, and it's funny. 120 got the most cojones out the whole group, and he's trying to get them removed. How ironic, but yeah, that's what's going on with 388, and soon, we pan back to 456, 390, and the front man and the two other Squid Game players, and the plan is 456 and 390 are going to take the front flank, and number one and the other two are going to go behind him and sneak behind him. Well, that's what they do, and the plan looks foolproof. And number one tells 15 and 47 to go ahead, and he's behind. And all of a sudden, right as they're about to kill the guards, boom, boom, they both get shot. And that's the climax turning point of this. The season is, he's a traitor. I mean, he was never on their team in the first place, so it's hard to call him a traitor. But he turns on his former allies, or seen to be allies, and Daeho, that's the guy who ran the army lackey. He's hiding and whatnot, and soon they get outnumbered. All the other uh, Squid Game players who were out fighting the guards, they all get killed. Even when they surrender, they put their hands up, they still get killed. And I'm glad 120 went back in the dorms, or else they would have been killed as well. They 120 is probably the most important. The one, if they get the gun in their hand, it's on and popping. But yes, they lose everyone out there. Um, no thanks to player one, the front man, and the guards come back in the dorm and they shut it all down. They're like, y'all need to put your hands up, come on out. This game, y'all done playing with us. And 120 was about to go crazy and do a kamikaze and go against the whole group. But the mom said, no, like, don't go out like that. We need you still. Is this the way you want to die? You have no chance. Because if you also, if they did it, they would have killed everyone else because they would have been afraid somebody else might have had a gun. So kudos for 120 to be able to back down and fight another day. But they was ready to go in. I was ready to see some Neo Matrix stuff go down, y'all. Um, and soon the guards, yeah, they finish off the surrounding players, like I said, and soon uh, we get back to the purple room, and the front man, he has his player one, he has his front man outfit back on. He is no longer has his Squid Game sweats. He stripped it real quick. I don't know where that quick change came from, but I guess he did a plays back in his day. Um, but soon they get, front man is up close to 390 and 456. They surrender, throw their guns down, and 390, our dear friend Zhang Bei, gets killed. And 456 is distraught. He's completely crashing out at this point. This is his friend from back home. This is his friend he's known for many, many years, and he's gone. It's over. And that's where the series ends for season two. Cliffhanger, y'all. Cliffhanger. Dramatic ending. Very dramatic. We lost a lot of our group of main players. I mean, we still have 120. We still got the goon with the lackey goon who took the Adderall or whatever the pills are. Obviously, we have 456. We have the mother and son still. We have the crypto guy and the pregnant girl. And so I think that's it for the main ensemble. Yeah, that's it, I think. So interested to see what season three brings. It's going to come sooner than I expected. I thought it was going to be 2 years, but it's going to come out 2025. And first, I'll give my prediction for season three, and then I'll tell you how I feel about season two full to round it out. I think that they're going to have to play maybe a couple more games. We're going to get down to maybe 10, 20 people. Then we're going to get the rebellion part two. The front man will reveal himself at some point, or be revealed. But I think we're going to get a second rebellion, because then the boat crew is going to get back and hopefully distract them, break them out to a degree before we get to the last game. Hopefully the mother gets out alive in 120. And my gut is telling me 120 is going to die. That's just my gut. Like I just feel that. I hope the mother can get out, but I feel like 456 has plot armor at this point. I don't think they will kill him, but they could if they really want to make this series. I think to make the series gold, you have to kill all 456. Um, surviving the games twice, like it's fiction, but let's be real. So I think they're not gonna get to the final Squid Game, but they'll probably end up with maybe 10 to 20 people left, and then the rebellion's gonna happen, and then we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, the front man does get killed. I'm sick of him, and hopefully the mother can survive. Now, what I think of season two, very quality season, high quality. They did season one justice with this, and I am, you know, honored to be able to part of this Squid Game family, to be a part of the Squid Game universe in my own way. I did not see 288 in this game. He probably died in red light, green light. But I definitely enjoyed myself throughout this whole series. I was not bored on any episode. I was not losing interest. I stayed in the zone. The only things that I was not like into that much is when they pan back to the boat scene, the boat crew. They just wasn't doing much at all. It kind of was insignificant. But other than that, the connections we made with the characters, the players, it gave me that same kind of attachment that season one had. Very similar, even more so with the mother. But yeah, y'all, I enjoyed season two. I enjoyed talking to the Squid Game players to catch up where they're at recently. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Obviously, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, of course. Make sure to check out Instagram as well. We're posting some things on there soon, too, about Squid Game. And I thank y'all for joining me once again. Y'all real ones out there for hearing a brother's perspective on the games and breaking it down with me. So let me know what you thought of season two. Did you like the cliffhanger? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you ready for season three to come out next week? Because I know I am. Um, and Yeah, y'all. Squid Game is wrapping up next in 2025, but we got a lot of fun things in between that time uh, to get done, and I'm so excited for 2025 as well. This will be the probably the last podcast episode before 2025. So I hope y'all had a great year. I hope you enjoyed being with me this past year. We've produced a lot of content, a lot. I mean, I can't even think of how many videos I've uploaded, shorts on YouTube, TikTok, long form content, videos, Netflix movie reviews, reality show reviews, the whole interviews, the whole nine, y'all. It's been a lot. I've done more talking this year than I've done in my entire life, but it's been a fun time doing it, and I'm so excited that I do get to do this now. And I appreciate y'all for sticking with me. And I'm looking forward to 2025 being even better with more progress being made. So, with that, I bid y'all a good night or a good rest of the day whenever you're listening to this. Um, and I will see y'all in 2025. So, till next time, y'all, peace, blessings, deuces. Have a great, happy new year. Be safe out there and catch y'all on the flip side. We out.